Hey guys, this is my first YouTube video, and I'm mainly going to be discussing speculation tactics in the oil market for paper traders and for physical traders as well. This is, one way to understand, what's going on in the market and to develop better market awareness skills. And as an oil trader, I mainly look at a few things. So nowadays, since COVID is out of the way, I'm mainly looking at what's going on in the United States, in Russia, and in China. Okay. So these three countries mainly influence the oil market in some way. And then you have the Middle East, mainly OPEC. OPEC significantly um, affects the market with their um, oil production output and so forth. But first off, I want to start, with um, how I look at and interpret the U.S. news. Okay, so I mainly look at the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield curve. I look at the ultra bond, and I look at the bond prices, and sometimes I look at the Nasdaq. Okay, so over here, okay, we see the 10-year Treasury yield. It is at 3.821%, extremely high. We've seen it lower a week or two ago, and this is mainly, the market interpreting the Jan CPI and comparing it to the PPI, and it's showing a lot of concerns. Basically, you have this Fed Powell guy coming out saying the U.S. is going to be getting into a disinflationary process. There's going to be lower inflation, but the data says otherwise. So, is the U.S. going to be increasing the rate hikes? Are we going to see another 50 basis point hike? Um, is that still on the table? Because this Fed Powell guy, he's coming out saying, yeah, we're just going to be, coming out with 25 basis point hikes. Then, eventually they're not going to be having any more hikes. But the yield curve is extremely high. Could it be that they increase the hikes and possibly push the US more into a recession? Now, this is going to affect the US dollar, which is also going to be affecting the oil prices. Okay? And this is what I mainly look at for the US nowadays as an oil trader. And then maybe at times I look at, something Biden would do with Ukraine and SPR. I look at the SPR more of like noise in the market. It doesn't really affect the market significantly because the U.S. Refills and sells their the oil in the SPR all the time, so I don't think it would significantly affect the market in a way. So I don't look at that as much as I look at the bond market for the U.S. Okay. Now, when I look at um, Russia, I mainly look at things like the EU sanctions, the price cap, um, how they're cutting oil supplies. I look at Russia in that sense because of what is going on in the market with you know Russian crude, all their products. Okay, I also look at freight as well. Okay, so I interpret the freight market in a certain way because the whole Russian Ukraine war and the EU being involved and all that. And then I look at China and how they are recovering and how you see basically there's more demand because China's reopening and all that post COVID. So that is how I interpret um, Asian news. Okay, and in terms of OPEC, like I said, I just look at how they uh, um, either, steady the outputs, lower the outputs, or who knows, increase the outputs. But for now, they're steadying the outputs. But I look at it in a sense where any sort of news from OPEC, coming out, it reflects the market in a way. So if you have this Haytham Al Ghais guy comes out saying, we're gonna steady the output, that is a bullish factor in the oil market. So that's how I look at it. Okay. And I also look at the oil inventory levels, which is, EIA reports. Occasionally, when the market is not really interpreting the news or has no news, okay, I look at the API. Sometimes, the market um, is kind of quiet. There's no much news involved, so they would go and look at the API report and um, be bearish or bullish based on that. So that's how I look at the oil market. I think it is a more it is more storytelling than it is, with numbers. I would say the market, the oil market, basically reacts on an unknown or unknown known trigger. That's how I like to say it. Anything that is known to the market doesn't really affect the market in any way. Um, that's how I look at the oil market. But in this channel, I'm gonna be observing the market in a way and educate you guys on some speculation and how you should interpret the market, basically. In a nutshell, that's what it is. But hopefully, I come out with a few videos to help educate you guys, and I'm looking forward to it. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.